Hey guys, PJ here with CLK Supplies, and welcome to our first ever vlog. Now, in this vlog, I plan on interviewing a bunch of different interesting people and talking about a bunch of interesting topics with the hope of really just getting a conversation started about different topics and products in the industry. And I figured no other better way to start off this vlog than with two guys that probably look fairly familiar to you that have been in a bunch of our different key machine battles. Now, I've known both of these guys for, what, 12, 20 years? Yeah. Something like that. Probably what, Tanner, you, almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
And Brian,
13.
A good 13 years, yeah. So I figured, these guys have been working in the trenches as a locksmith for many years. And I wanted to get their perspective on being a locksmith, and I'm really happy that you guys came on here.
We are excited.
So,
some more than others.
some more than others, right? Now, I mean, we're shooting this a little after 5 o'clock. I mean, both of you guys just got done locksmithing all day, working hard, and I really do appreciate it. Yeah. So now let's start with you, Tanner. So how long have you been a locksmith for?
I've been a locksmith total for 19 years locksmithing.
Okay. 19 years?
19 years. All in northern Idaho.
All in northern Idaho.
Yeah, the cold locksmithing. That's what they say.
Yeah, I think it's for the first time. I intentionally took off my jacket, my light jacket I'm always wearing. It looks like you did too. Yeah. Brian, you're still North Idaho'd up over here.
It could be snowing, it could be sunshine.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect, so 19 years.
19 years, yeah.
Brian, how about you?
20 years. I started in 2000, so I'm right at that 20-year mark.
Okay. Awesome. Now, Tanner, what made you want to get into locksmithing?
Well, basically growing up, maybe from the age of 4 to maybe 12, I was always sticking, toothpicks and paper clips into locks. And so we got to know the local locksmith frequently. Mother would take us there and have the locksmith extract a paper clip or a bobbin pin out of the ignition. I don't know if I was trying to steal anything or just curious about locks, but I think my curiosity just kind of fell in my lap, and met the owner, and it all from there. It was locksmithing from there on out.
Okay. Interesting. Brian, how did you get into locksmithing?
Short version, I used to work at a big car dealership. The locksmith that I used kept on hassling me to work for him, and about 6 months later I started working for him.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Now, Tanner, I guess we should back up for a second and talk about, so you were always kind of putting stuff, toothpicks and locks, but what made you be like, you know what, I'm going to take a job as a locksmith. I'm going to apply, or how did that work?
I was working at a plumbing and electrical building. We were selling, appliances, cabling, toilet parts, you name it.
Okay.
Met the owner. He was always coming in. He was always building something. The owner of the locksmith company I work for now, and
which is my dad's.
This is Country Lock and Key. Absolutely. Yep. Got to know him really well. He'd come in, buy parts all the time, and it just kind of went from there. And we got to know each other. And he asked me, "Hey, have you ever been interested in being a locksmith?"
Okay.
I'd never even thought about it. Of course, at a hardware store selling stuff, I was always cutting keys, so it was fun to me. I said, you know what, let's take it from here. Let's see what locksmithing. I had no idea what all locksmithing included. I thought it was just cutting keys.
Yeah,
cutting house keys. I thought that's all it was.
Sure.
Boy, oh boy, my surprise, it's not just cutting house keys. There's a lot more entailed to it, but it's fun. I enjoy my job. They say, you never work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. You enjoy your job, and I love going to work every day.
Awesome. Now, when we talk about locksmithing, right, nowadays it really seems there's a lot of people that focus on automotive locksmithing, or residential or commercial or just safes even, right? And so my question is to both of you guys is, what types of locksmithing do each of you do, and what would you say you enjoy the most?
Let you go.
Brian, go first here.
When I first started, about the first 4 years, all I did was automotive. So that's all I learned. I knew it up and down. Call me, ask me a year, make, and model. I knew what I had to do before I even showed up. Then starting working here, then I got more into the residential, more of the commercial, and stuff.
Okay.
For the most part, I'm kind of the auto guy. I like doing the auto stuff.
Absolutely.
Everybody calls me if they have auto issues here within the company. So programming stuff, it's a lot of research, a lot keeping up to date every month. Stuff's changing. Every year it changes.
Yeah, I'm sure from what you said, 2001 you started Locksmith?
2000.
2000. Yeah. So, I mean, what you've seen, right?
Totally from non-chips to VATs.
That's in the, what, H72 was out then, H73?
Right.
All the way to today.
Epoxy keys and...
You've really... And so, I mean, so you do it all, right? You do residential, commercial...
Residential, commercial. Touch the safe stuff a little bit. Just depends on what it is.
Okay.
So... Tanner's our main safe guy. He's the
it.
driller.
Awesome. Yep. All right, Tanner. Yeah. So, what type of work do you do?
In the perfect world, I'd be doing safe work all day long. I live and breathe it. I love it. It's the feeling of once you crack one, once you get one open, and you didn't damage anything. That's the most successful part of doing it. And you want to celebrate and do a backflip every time you get one open. And it's been like that for 19 years. Every single one I get open, I still want to do a backflip. I'm getting old now. Don't dare try it.
So you've never tried a backflip afterwards?
Ellen and I doesn't, like that.
Okay.
So I don't do it anymore. But auto, residential, commercial, safes, access control, you name it, I do it. As far as my most favorite part of locksmithing, safes and hand filing and impressioning keys. That's hands down my favorite thing to do.
Okay, cool. Now, like or I should say, unlike some different trades, right? Like plumbing or electrical, locksmithing is one of those things that there's really not like full-blown apprentice type programs. There's not really like a set career path, right? And so both of you guys shared a little bit on how you guys decided to become locksmiths. But a big question I want to bring up and talk about is it what you expected, right? When you signed on, when you started doing it in 2000 and you shortly thereafter, like, what is it really like being a locksmith day in and day out for the past 12 plus years?
Every day is opening day.
It's just like cars. The older they get, the simpler you think they are, but things have been changed. Multiple owners. You just never know what you're coming against. Should be a one key system, but by the time you're done, you got 5 different keys for everything. I mean, and then you got to rekey stuff. I mean, it's never a boring day.
There's always something different, especially being a full service locksmith, right? I mean,
you can go from doing a car lockout to making card keys to going unlocking a business office.
Yeah.
And then going across town and trying to get somebody's Century safe open because
Right.
they forgot the combo or they just don't know how to spin the dial right because it's been 6 months since they've been in it.
Right.
So
as if it was as I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know locksmiths were on call. I didn't know there was a 24-hour thing, locksmith thing. I didn't know at 2 o'clock in the morning you could be going out to your local Walmart or your watering hole to unlock or make keys in a parking lot in a blizzard or 90 degrees without being able to get key codes. So you're tearing a door down, tearing an ignition apart, hand filing the older cars, impressioning as not expected. Did not expect that. The wife did not expect that when we married her, that she did not know she'd be getting woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's it.
She isn't going to do the job, but your phone is still sitting on the bedstand, and
you're still talking,
that's
right?
Nice, right?
When someone calls,
you got to tip your toe outside the bedroom to take the call. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, so I'm guessing, back when, how old were you when you started? About 18?
About, 18 or 19.
So when you just thought maybe you'll be cutting a couple quick set keys compared to so many years later, right?
Right.
Wait, doing lockouts at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah. Cracking safes. It's just, I had no idea.
Okay. So what advice would you guys give someone who was either thinking about maybe starting, out in locksmithing and they're curious about it and at the same time, it's like kind of like, what do you expect, right? Like, I mean, what can they expect? I know it's definitely a job that you really have to think on your toes a lot, right? Like, a lot of times you're trying to fix something or work on something that, like, maybe you don't know quite all the information, and you have to take the information you do know and apply it to what you don't know. And so I'm really curious, and the fun part is I don't know the answer to this question for you guys, right? So what advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about either coming into the locksmithing world or that is just starting out?
Mike,
Brian? Yep.
If you're just getting into it, you gotta kind of remember, what do you want to go into specially, basically? Autos, residential, because it's going to be a lot of back and forth. So if you go into more auto stuff, you're going to learn all that. Yeah, you're going to have MVP Pro or whatever other machines you're using. You got to have all that stockpile of keys, inventory. That's sometimes the hardest thing. And some of these guys around here, I get calls, yeah, they won't touch it because it's so newer. But then I'm restricted on some of these 2020s. You got to order them OEM because codes aren't available. Subarus, you go out and do a 2014 Subaru. I can get a key code, but there's no software to convert the code into the cuts. So you're still having to do the teardown. So everybody thinks, I can just get codes, I can do it the easy way. It doesn't work that simple. Same thing with houses. You go out to rekey a house, oh yeah, I got Schlage locks. Just had one the other day. Guy's lived there for about 10 years. He's got Primus with a locksmith that's no longer around. Fortunately, he had the original Schlage, so I was able to put other cylinders in. But you just come across so much stuff. What kind of equipment are you going to have? You start out, you want to go low end, but you're better off to bite the bullet, buy a little bit heavier duty, better equipment. It's a one-time buy. Because 3 or 4 years, that cheaper stuff's going to wear out. Just like going to Harbor Freight. Is it an emergency thing you need a tool for? Go to Harbor Freight, one-time use on stuff. Okay.
So you're pretty much saying to what I hear you saying is to expect the unexpected, right?
Pretty
you go
much.
to a quick house rekey. You think it's just a Schlage keyway, and you see Primus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you look at his key and go, yeah, that guy's no longer around.
Yep. Or you go to make keys for a vehicle, and maybe the programmer doesn't give you exactly all the information.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're having to kind of figure
work around. If anybody's worked on Chevys, you go in to work on a 2006 Chevy. You got Chevy USA. No, sometimes depending on that Silverado, you got to go start in GMC, and you got like 6 more loops to jump through to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
It's not just Honda year, make, and model. Boom, boom. I'm out of there in 3 minutes programming, if that.
Okay, so is it safe to say that if you like surprises and having to make it work, you'll really love
It's the same as
Locksmith?
Tanner. He loves getting into the safes. Makes him happy. And he knows, okay, God, how much damage did I do? Do I got to replace all of this or that? Can I resave this? Especially on the old antique stuff. If you do it right, you can usually reuse the spindle, everything, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't give you a choice how you have to drill them. So you got to replace all the box and everything. Yeah. So it's just like that with cars. You show up, hey, I got a 2006 Mercedes. Keys are locked in the trunk. How you gonna get in?
Yeah.
Sure. It's knowing some tricks. You got no door lock. You got no high security trunk lock to pick. If you got your leashy tools and stuff. How you gonna get in?
That's so true.
I mean, and sometimes you know that certain car and it's a convertible and you don't even touch it. Because you know you got to order the key and it's 4 to 6 weeks out, and it's just cheaper for them to just have it towed to the dealer.
Sure. So there's just all you're saying. I mean, it's something new. I mean, after how many years you've done it, there's always still something new. So everybody's got that gas station that you're always getting called to at the gas pump because they need keys made. And you're thinking to yourself, what is going on here? You show up, there's the man drain hole right at the driver's door. Every time. I got a gas station in Spokane I used to go to all the time. Got to the point where I got a big magnet
and I could get it in there, and I got some keys out.
Really?
Because it was a higher end car.
So
in the mail.
So you're like a key fisherman.
You just got to think outside the box.
Got a big one.
Yeah, think outside the box.
Yeah, that is true.
And I had 2 other sets come up, so I took them inside and said, hey, these weren't keys I made for, and I've been at that place 3 or 4 times in 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Great.
I'd say,
Dan.
starting out, just patience. Locksmithing, years and years of locksmithing, still learning every day.
Yeah.
Every day, new stuff. I mean, even the old stuff, we're like, wow. Just keep it simple and keep your patience, and don't lose your patience on anything. It takes a while. It takes a while to get the skill on impressioning and opening safes and unlocking cars. I mean, nowadays there's great new pump wedges and long rods and fancy green weenies to use and to get into vehicles. Unlocking cars, yeah, it's a piece of cake, but you don't want to damage any new cars. You know, it's going to be way more than your day's wage to replace that glass or that, rain gutter edge on a vehicle. So
or a piece of vinyl, it's
just patience.
at
Patience.
$700.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Start little. Start small, and you'll definitely get there. Just take it easy. That's all I could say.
Okay. Yeah, so I think just kind of sum it up, you guys are both kind of saying that if you're looking for a career or a place, a type of job to go to work every day and get to really put your skills to test, build your skills, expect the unexpected.
Yeah, you bet.
And just start slow, right? Like you're not going to become a master locksmith or a great locksmith overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, how was it for both of you guys the first time you rekeyed the basic quick set lock? Like, did you get it the first time? Or did it take you a few times to kind of get the hang of it?
No, I got it the first time. You?
Quick set lock. Most quick set locks are pretty simple back in the day.
Yeah.
The Titans are the fun ones when you don't got a key.
Okay.
But
yeah.
it's having make sure you have the right tools. Biggest thing, number one thing you always have to have is your shims. If you ain't got shims, when I first started, the company I worked for, they never told me we had shims.
Oh, man.
Like I said, my first 4 years, all I did was autos.
Okay.
And then the company sold, had a new owner come in, and then all of a sudden, one employee left that did all the residential commercials, so I had to start doing house rekeys. So
Okay.
nobody showed me any of that. He's like, you got the kit, you got this, but here's some basic steps over the phone, and away I went
Okay.
and stuff. So, and I just kind of went off, got it. When I used to go to Ace Hardware, they used to rekey locks there at my old Ace Hardware, and they don't anymore, but it's like, God, what did he do? And it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can get on YouTube and watch anything.
Sure.
Back then, you didn't have accessible
Absolutely.
and stuff. So,
Okay, so last thing I want to end with here, something kind of fun, is do either one of you have a funny story, an interesting story of something that you can expect in the life of a locksmith?
Man, there's a lot of stories.
That hopefully I should say that's like PG-13 or under.
Quick, easy, fun little quick lockouts. You go out to the house. Say a house lockout, residential lockout. You're locked out of the house. You're picking away on that lock. You know, it's a schlag lock, and you've had a long day, or it's night, and you're picking, and for some reason, you know, you should have this in a couple seconds, but you're on this thing for a good 10-20 minutes. Your fingers are blistering and everything else, and you don't know. You're telling the customer, you know, we may have to drill this, and which is embarrassing, but you know, sometimes you have to do what you got to do, and you get your tools out and you put the drill bit to that, and they got a little jingle in their pocket, and they pull the keys out, and you know,
Really?
hey, you don't want to ask the customer when you get there if you can check their pockets, but you know, sometimes it's worth it.
Okay.
Just to have them check their own pockets. Don't check their pockets. It's
No,
kind of frowned upon.
Have any of you guys been to a lockout before that the car was actually not locked?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Get called probably about 5 years ago to the golf course
Okay.
over just down the road. Get over there, vehicle's running. So I pull up, flip around on the passenger side, and guy's out there swinging his golf clubs over on the driver's side. Can tell he's frustrated.
Yeah.
And I get out of my van and I go, you just waiting for me now? He goes, what do you mean? Well, you didn't break your window, did ya? Because he's over there swinging, can tell he's frustrated. He goes, no. Well, your window's rolled down. It's locked up. He had tinted windows, but he didn't notice. And they have like 3 or 4 clothes hangers jammed in there on the driver's side. He somehow bumped his window and it rolled it down. So,
Wow.
I mean, you just never know what you're up against.
Yeah.
You get the ones where a person in their retirement age, you get that call late at night, it's winter time. Get there, meet them, they're down at the bottom of their driveway because they got to walk up all these steps. So it's cold out, go up, keys are hanging in the door. So you get all the weird, or first thing I always do, you'll walk up there, give the door a jingle. Give the knob a twist. Because there's sometimes things settle, they get rough, and the doorknob doesn't turn as easy, or the handle.
Okay.
And it opens right up, and they just look at you like
you're like
I'm magic.
Yep.
I'm better than MacGyver.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
So you just never know what you're coming across.
Yeah.
So you always got to do your assessment.
Yep.
Assessment over the phone, a reassessment once you show up. Look at an ignition, look at door locks. Have they been taken over by a screwdriver, somebody trying to steal it?
Sure.
My key doesn't go in. I can't, I've had even the one I've had to drive 2-hour drive for a AAA call. I get all the way to this restaurant out in the middle of nowhere. Talking to this farmer gentleman. He's got a 2006 Ford truck. And he hands me his keys and says, yeah, my keys. No, sir, this is not the proper chipped key. You got a Ford Taurus.
Okay, yeah.
That's just for those typical cars for the mom and wife to drive back then. I'm just like, they're like, yeah, how'd you know? Because this is your key to your Ford Taurus. And
Okay.
he wants to argue.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, check your pockets. I have. He pulls out of his other pocket the set of keys. I drove 2 hours for nothing.
Uh-huh.
But you just never know what you're up against.
Sure.
People get frustrated customer-wise.
Yeah.
They're distraught. They're in that atmosphere.
Uh-huh.
I've had many of them. Unlock the car, you can't find them. They're in the bottom of their purse still.
Yeah.
Because they're having a rough day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I've had it where I've made keys for a Cadillac. Get all done, get it all programmed.
Yeah.
And they come out and go, remember you told me to go look in the little cars? Because I saw all these little kids.
Yeah.
They're all boys. Said, hey, oh yeah, the kids get my keys all the time. After I'm all done, writing up my bill, and she goes, here they are. Yeah, they were in one of those little push-around cars.
Oh, jeez.
So I said, hey, they imitate you.
Yeah.
Just like people, how many calls do you get at grocery stores? Keys locked in the trunk.
Yeah.
Because they hang them on their pinky or on their finger, and they're setting their bags in, and they drop and closing.
Yep.
Because they had them hanging right there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Or the kids lose them because they give the jinglies. I always love it. I'm like, I'm off. I'm on call, though. Oh, I might be getting called back to this place. I'm going to go hang out for 20 more minutes when I leave out in the parking lot.
Sure.
I might be getting a call.
Yeah.
Because the kid's over there playing with the keys in the shopping cart. And you just want to tell them, hey, good job security.
Yep.
So-
Job security. Perfect, guys. Well, hey, I really appreciate you guys both coming on here. I'm happy, after so many key machine battles that we could sit down and everyone can learn a little bit about each of you guys,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think there's something to be said about people, guys like you that have been locksmithing day in, day out for years, right? I mean, you've got to see a big change in the industry, and you guys have a lot of experience, and I appreciate you guys coming on here.
Yeah.
Well, great, guys. Hey, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. So, it's all figured out here, so perfect. All right, we can see them all. What was that? Okay. Hey guys, PJ here with CLK, and
And now they're saying not to sneeze into your elbow if you have clothes on, because it stays on your freaking clothing.
Yeah.
So they said just let it go. Let it go. Let it go.